Hello there guys, welcome to one of my live videos. Manchester United have just beaten Leeds United by 4 goals to 0 at the Optus Stadium, of course, in Australia. That is now 2 wins out of 2 in pre-season, because obviously we did beat Perth Glory at the weekend by 2 goals to 0. But before I do currently get into it all, obviously I'll just give you an update on that. David De Gea, of course, wasn't involved today, as we all thought he currently would have been, but obviously he currently missed out because I think David De Gea is ill. Also, Lukaku didn't participate in the game because I do believe he had sustained some kind of knock. So Manchester United did beat Leeds United by 4 goals to 0. Obviously the first goal was from Mason Greenwood and all that. I think Wan-Bissaka had currently got the assist. Wan-Bissaka, of course, played really well today. It was a cross from Wan-Bissaka, tapping for Mason Greenwood, and that was 1-0. Second goal, of course, was from Marcus Rashford. Absolutely sublime finisher from Marcus Rashford and all that. And that was 2-0 to Manchester United. So Marcus Rashford did currently get the second goal. It was currently 2-0 at half time, and in the second half the third goal was from Phil Jones from a set piece from a corner. Lovely little header from Phil Jones, and that was 3-0. And the fourth goal of course came from the penalty spot. Chong, I think, had got fouled, we'd been given a penalty, and of course Martial took the penalty away, and of course that was currently 4-0. So a fantastic start to pre-season for Manchester United. Like I said, 2 wins out of 2, and like I did say, we have got a busy pre-season. We've got Inter Milan coming up I think in 3 days time. Then we have currently got Tottenham coming up, and I do believe we've got Christian Sund, and then obviously our last pre-season game of course is AC Milan. So I do believe we do travel to Singapore sometime this week and all that. But the one thing I do currently like about pre-season, it gives all the upcoming players a chance to get a bit of experience under their belt. But analysing that game today, I thought Manchester United were very dominant. Rashford also hit the post, so he could have had another goal on his he could have scored another goal. Also I think Daniel James of course hit the post. He played very well today as well. Obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer changed the teams from the changed teams in both halves and all that. But we did currently hit the post twice. Leeds United did have a couple of chances in the first half. They did get into the game a little bit like after the 20-minute mark. Sergio Romero had to make a couple of saves and all that. But apart from that, I do believe Manchester United of course were very dominant. I thought Chonley looked really good when he came on. With Mason Greenwood, obviously he's going to be assured first team football going on into this season, as obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed. So Mason Greenwood is going to get promoted into the first team and all that. I think Jimmy Garner also came on in the game, but I think the majority of the players played really well. I thought also Paul Pogba had chances, especially in the first half. I think Paul Pogba had about 3 great chances. He had a decent chance for a free kick. He also had a decent chance. The Leeds keeper had to make a save and all that. I thought Bailly did pretty well today when he was currently on the pitch. So overall I thought it was a good performance for Manchester United. But like I said, De Gea didn't play because he was ill, as we all thought he would have been, and of course Lukaku had currently sustained a knock. So very good result and all that. So 2 games, 6 goals, no goals and that conceded. So we have started this pre-season really well and all that. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we'll go into a bit of the transfer news now. Obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did basically say there has been a lot of speculations about players coming in, and of course about players coming in, of course players going out and all that. So Solskjaer did say there has been a lot of speculation, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is very adamant that we haven't received any bids for our players, and he did basically say to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that we don't basically need to sell players, but he also said we don't need to overspend on our current transfer targets and all that. And I do believe Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka have had 2 good games for Manchester United and all that. I think they both played really well today. It was good to see Wan-Bissaka get an assist, and it was unlucky that Daniel James didn't score because of course he currently hit the post and all that. But I do believe Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka have got all the ingredients required to become a huge successes at Manchester United, because they're both very young, and it's beneficial anyway because obviously they have both currently played in England and all that, and they're both very young. Like I said, they're only both 21 years of age, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to recruit young players to Manchester United this summer. So far this summer, we have spent £65 million on Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka, but I do believe we need to currently rebuild on that. And obviously I do believe now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priorities will be to recommend an experienced centre half in. He'll also want to add reinforcements of course in that midfield, and I do believe of course we do need a right winner. But like I did say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to give everybody the chance, the young players, the fringe players, the experienced players and all that. And this is the one good thing I do like about pre-season because basically everybody does currently get a chance. I thought McTominay did quite well today. Like currently said, I think he set up Rashford's second goal. I did say McTominay is inexperienced at the moment, but with pre-season obviously McTominay of course is going to get a bit more of experience under his belt and all that. I thought Pereira, did quite well today as well. So overall, I thought it was a pretty decent performance and that from Manchester United. But like I said, we still need to revitalise the squad. You can still see the deficiencies in the squad. There is just under 4 weeks now remaining of this current transfer window, so we have got to be more competitive in this current window and all that. But so far this summer, we have spent around £65 million. Obviously, quite a few people said, look, we should be sensible over our current recruitment this summer. I do believe, we are moving away from the policy of signing them well-established players. Like I did give you an update on Fred and Damien and Dean Henderson are set to link up with the squad, when we do travel to Singapore, I think sometime this week. So also that's very, very good. Obviously, Fred and Damien haven't travelled to Australia, obviously, due to family reasons and all that, as I did, basically give you an update on that. But analysing our current squad at the moment, it isn't potentially good enough, so we do need to get at least what 2 or 3 more new additions to the squad before this current transfer window does currently shut. And I hope to say that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can get Manchester United back to glory. Like I updated you on my previous video I did today earlier on. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did basically say that, he's basically said, we will be aiming for further up than 4th, going on into next season in the Premier League and all that. And this is what basically Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said. Like I did say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, got appointed as Manchester United caretaker manager on the 19th of December, following the dismissal of Jose Mourinho. And of course, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager, we exceeded expectation levels. The results were good. The performances and that were very, very good. And even we did win our first 8 games when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. In total, won 14 out of 19 games, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got the job permanently on the 28th of March and all that, and then we only won two games out of currently 10. So it did go all wrong, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had currently got the job permanently. But obviously, we need to see vast improvements going into this season, because last season was disappointing. We finished 6th. Of course, we didn't win many silverware, so we need to see vast improvements, of course, going on into this season. But like I said, we've had a great start to pre-season. Beating Perth Glory by 2-0, beating Leeds today by 4-0. Like I said, 6 goals in 2 games and no goals, of course, conceded and all that. But I still believe at the moment, City is strides ahead of us. Obviously, Liverpool and that are strides ahead of us. So it's very imperative that we catch up with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool, of course. But I actually do believe our expectations going on to this season probably will be to finish in the top 4. I do believe our aspirations will be that top 4 in the next couple of seasons, because I don't think we're quite good enough yet, to challenge for the league or win the league and all that. And I did say, regardless of our current managers, even if we had a manager to the highest level, there would still currently struggle with our current squad at the moment. So but there's still quite a lot that that needs to be addressed in our current squad, as I believe you are all currently aware of and all that. But like I did currently say, I hope to say that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can take Manchester United forward, and I hope to say, he has got the abilities, he has got the stature, to get us in that commanding position, of course, where we do currently want to be. We didn't spend out in January, we didn't get us number 1 targets last summer, so I did say, this window is very imperative that we do get our number 1 targets. I know it's going to be hard for us to attract players to elite level, because we're not in Champions League football. It's also going to be hard for us to convince our imperative players to stay at the football club, because we're not in a Champions League football and all that. But I did say, we need to sell players, to help us generate funds, and of course rebuild the squad and all that, because for the entirety of the window so far, we have been mainly, focusing on the incomings and all that. Since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival, obviously, we've seen Valencia leave the club. Obviously, he served 10 years at Manchester United and all that, so he was a long-serving player here. Obviously, we saw Ander Herrera leave the club on a free transfer, so obviously, we are going to need a replacement for him. And obviously, we saw Fellaini, leave back in the January transfer window and all that. But like I said, fantastic start to pre-season and all that. But obviously, we've got to get, a couple of more players into the squad and all that. So I want to give you a bit more of additional information in regards to what? What? All right. All right. I want to give you a bit more. I want to give you a bit more additional information in regards to Romelu Lukaku and all that. So we. What? I'm doing it now. I know. So So I just want to give you my latest news in regards to Romelu Lukaku and all that. So we do know that Romelu Lukaku has been relentlessly linked to move away from Manchester United. Obviously we do know he's been heavily linked to move to Inter Milan, for the entirety of the summer. And obviously throughout the summer, Lukaku has been speaking about his proposed move to Inter Milan and all that. Because obviously as it did confirm last week that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had held talks with Romelu Lukaku and all that. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was pleading him to stay for one more season. Because obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does want Romelu Lukaku to remain at the football club for one more season, as he has confirmed. Obviously, Lukaku does currently want to leave Manchester United. He blatantly made this clear last week and all that. Because obviously, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been recommended in, obviously we do know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first choice preference has been Marcus Rashford ahead of Romelu Lukaku and all that. And obviously, we do know that Lukaku feels unhappy about this. So I think Lukaku is unhappy, that the way he's been treated in the last 6 months under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like I did say, he didn't currently play today because currently Lukaku had currently sustained a knock. But I think if we do sell Romelu Lukaku, I do think it will be beneficial for us. I do think it will be also beneficial for the player himself and all that, because Lukaku was initially lost his place in the team. Obviously talks have been ongoing for several weeks between Inter Milan and Manchester United and all that. But potentially we've said we want around 75 or 80 million pounds. So we're basically looking to recoup the money that we did pay for Lukaku a couple of years ago from Everton and all that. So we're looking to recoup the money that we did pay from Everton a couple of years ago. Or we're even looking to maybe gain a little bit of a profit and all that. But potentially Inter Milan are struggling to meet our current valuation. So I do believe our valuation is currently the stumbling block of Lukaku and making his proposed move to Inter Milan. Obviously we do know that Inter Milan have obviously inquired about getting Romelu Lukaku on a 2-year loan worth around £9 million up front, with then the obligation to buy for the further £54 million. But obviously, Manchester United didn't entertain this offer. So obviously, we currently rejected this offer because we're only willing to let Lukaku go on a permanent deal. As he did confirm last week that Inter Milan's director travelled to London, to hold more negotiations with Manchester United to thrash out a deal for Romelu Lukaku and all that. But reportedly, Manchester United had turned down this 2-year loan offer. But Inter Milan obviously, want payments, to be structured over the next 2 to 3 years and all that. So not willing to play it all in one go. Recent reports have actually indicated out now, saying that reportedly Inter Milan are willing to meet our £75 million valuation. So reportedly Inter Milan want to spend a guaranteed £60 million over the next 2 to 3 years. So reportedly now Inter Milan are willing to pay £40 million up front, with the rest to be with the rest of the money to be paid over the next course of the year or something like that. Also Inter Milan do want to pay £15 million in bonuses and all that. So Inter Milan are willing to meet our valuation, but we know we've only bonuses included in the deal. So they want to pay £15 million in bonuses, dependent on how Romelu Lukaku does perform at the San Siro and all that. So Inter Milan do want payments they do want payments to be structured in the next couple of years. Whether Manchester United are willing to accept this bid or not, I do not know. Obviously we do know that Inter Milan have tried offering a couple of their players as part of the deal for Lukaku, but of course Manchester United have currently turned this down. But reports did indicate out, was it the other month, saying that allegedly Lukaku had agreed a deal with Inter Milan worth around 180 grand a week. He also said he had agreed the personal terms and all that, but obviously no fee has yet come to an agreement. Obviously Antonio Conte has identified Romelu Lukaku as his number one target. Obviously reflecting back a couple of years ago, Antonio Conte wanted Romelu Lukaku, which is when he was Chelsea manager, but obviously ended up making the move to Manchester United. And Lukaku is keen on playing under Antonio Conte's guidance, and he did recently describe Antonio Conte as one of the best managers in the world and all that. So he's keen on playing under Antonio Conte's guidance. Obviously we do know Lukaku's still got 3 years left on his contract with Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does know how much of an imperative player he is. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does want him to remain in the football club, even though he has initially lost his place in the team. But I think our valuation seems to be the stumbling block at the moment. But now Inter Milan are reportedly set to tell us this week they're willing to meet our valuation, but with only bonuses included in the payment. So whether Manchester United are willing to go along with this or not, I do not know. But like I did say, Lukaku has been at Manchester United 2 years. He scored 42 goals in 96 games for the club in all competitions. Was exceptional in his first season, but of course they didn't really replicate this form of course in his second season and all that. But was exceptional of course in his first season. Lukaku's agent, Federico Pastorella, obviously he's held quite a few talks over Inter Milan. Lukaku's agent has said that Inter Milan of course are desperate to sign him, but he did obviously the other week classify the move as complicated and all that. But I do believe if Romelu Lukaku does leave the football club, obviously we are going to need an adequate replacement for him. But I do believe if we can sell him, it will help us with our rebuilding process. Of course, it will help us with our transition and all that. But we do know Pogba and Lukaku have both been relentlessly linked to a move away from the football club. And I did say, based on the extortionate amount we've put on both players, this could be a stumbling block of Pogba and Lukaku, making their proposed moves away from Manchester United and all that. But Lukaku's still 26 years of age, don't forget, he has still currently got a lot of years ahead of him. Maybe some people have said, we don't need to replace Romelu Lukaku if he does leave the football club, because people are saying, we've got the likes of Rashford, we've got the likes of Martial. With Rashford and Martial, they're still both very, very young, and I don't think, they've quite emulated to that level yet. It's going to take them probably a year, maybe even a couple of years, to get them to that level, where they do currently want to be. We have got Mason Greenwood now, obviously, he's going to be sure to get more playing time, going on into this season, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed. And I do believe Mason Greenwood, reflect on his impressive performances for the reserves and all that, I do believe with him getting promoted into the first team, he can exceed expectation levels at Manchester United. We have got the likes of Chong. I thought Chong, that played well today. But I think, Mason Greenwood and Chong are still inexperienced at this current present time and all that. So I probably do believe we need someone that can replace Romelu Lukaku. These people talking about Wissam Ben Yedder from Sevilla, and based on his experience and all that, I think he would be a good adequate replacement for Romelu Lukaku. I do believe Wissam Ben Yedder's goal scoring pedigree is very, very good, just like Lukaku's, because Lukaku's goal scoring pedigree is very, very good. He's well proven in the Premier League. Obviously, he's been in the Premier League quite some time now, and all that. And Lukaku's ratio is very, very good in the Premier League. But you do know I have got strong concerns about him. He has sustained quite a few injuries, since he has come to Manchester United playing. And obviously, Lukaku is our second most expensive signing, because obviously, we did pay around £75 million for him. But I think Wissam Ben Yedder, would be a good replacement for him. I think he is available for a reasonable figure. I do believe, the one, his initial release cost is around £36 million. Reports came out about this a couple of weeks ago saying that Manchester United, were in for Wissam Ben Yedder. He's been at Sevilla about 3 seasons, has he? He's still under contract with Sevilla until 2021. I think before he was at Sevilla, he was currently at Toulouse, and I do believe Sevilla paid a £9 million fee, to currently get him from Toulouse and all that. He is, of course, 28 years of age, Wissam Ben Yedder, but he can score goals and all that. And I do believe, he would be the right solution for Manchester United. There's still some people talking about Moussa Dembele. Do you think he would be a good adequate replacement for Romelu Lukaku? With Moussa Dembele, like I did say, it did say quite a few weeks ago that Manchester United, were in for him, were preparing to put a bid in for him around £40 million or something like that, because I think this is what he's initially valued at. Obviously, last season was his debut season in France, with Lyon, and I think he did, really, really well. I think he's a good forward that can score goals. He's good in the air. He's also very, very good at creating chances. I do believe he's only a 22 years of age. Is Moussa Dembele. I think he's on the contract with Lyon till 2023, because I think Lyon did get him last summer from Celtic, was it, for around 19 or 20 million pounds, because obviously, he did have 2 good years in Scotland with Celtic. Obviously, he actually, began his senior career with Fulham. So do you think he would be a good replacement for Lukaku? Do you think Dybala, would be a good replacement for Lukaku? Because obviously, we do know that Paul Dybala has been linked to a move to Manchester United and all that. So if Lukaku is to depart the football club, I do believe we're definitely not going to need an adequate replacement for him and all that. I want to give you the news in regards to Paul Pogba, because we do know that Paul Pogba has been relentlessly linked to move away from Manchester United. Like I said, I do believe that Paul Pogba did currently have a good game today and all that. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has basically said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has basically said he has said that Manchester United can rebuild around Paul Pogba, and he has also said that Paul Pogba does not need to leave Manchester United to fulfil his ambitions. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does know how much of an imperative player that currently Paul Pogba is. I was reading more reports over the course of the weekend. It did say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has revealed he has considered Paul Pogba for the captaincy at Manchester United next season, to try and convince him to remain in the football club. And I do believe Manchester United are opening up contract talks again to try and convince Paul Pogba to remain at the football club and all that. Obviously, Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, had obviously came out quite a few weeks ago, and he basically said Paul Pogba is in the process of leaving Manchester United and all that. And this is, what he basically said. Paul Pogba's, current agent Mini Raiola. But like I said, Paul Pogba's transfer saga away from Manchester United, does continue to persist. We are very, very adamant that Paul Pogba is not for sale. But he did basically say, would accept an initial bid of around £150 million. But more reports did say over the weekend now we have allegedly risen our asking price up. So now reportedly, want around £180 million for Paul Pogba. So reportedly, we are demanding, double of what we initially paid for him from Juventus, back in 2016 and all that. But like I said, he has been subject to a lot of transfers. Transfer speculation. Obviously, reflecting back, was it a month ago now? Paul Pogba said, he's seeking for a new challenge. He publicly admitted that he wants to leave Manchester United, and it did say at one point that Paul Pogba was even willing to go out on strike, to force him move away from the football club and all that. But I believe, that Paul Pogba is a very, very imperative player. And I do believe, regardless of what happens with Paul Pogba, I still think it's initially in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plans, to add two new additions in that midfield and all that. But like I said, Paul Pogba's still got 2 years left in his contract, with an option to extend it by a further year. And of course, he is on around 290 grand a week. I do believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's held talks with Paul Pogba in regard to his long-term future. But I think actually Solskjaer was talking about yesterday, about Pogba's ambitions for next season, Sanchez's ambitions for next season and all that. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, does know how much of an imperative a player that Paul Pogba is, because obviously when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer managed the Manchester United reserve team, he watched some of this team at this day and age, grow and develop, and of course one of them, was Paul Pogba. So initially, they did build a great relationship up and all that. But we do know Paul Pogba's been relentlessly linked to a move to Real Madrid. He's also, been heavily linked with a move to Juventus. For quite some time, I do believe Paul Pogba's first choice preference has been Real Madrid, and his likely destination has been Real Madrid. Obviously, Juventus had set their interest up in the last 2 to 3 weeks. Obviously, Juventus have held their negotiations with his agent Mini Raiola, and obviously, Paul Pogba did have 4 good years in Turin. Hasn't really replicated this form since he did make the return to Manchester United. But like I did say, even though he hasn't been the player as well thought he would have been, I'd still say in this market at this day and age, Paul Pogba is worth from between 150 to 160 million pounds. But I do believe, based on the extortionate amount we've put on him, this seems to be the stumbling block of Paul Pogba, making his proposed move away from Manchester United and all that. But with Juventus, he did have 4 good years in Turin. He exceeded expectation levels, but I think more than likely, Juventus would have to offload 1 or 2 of their essential players, to fund the move for Paul Pogba, because I don't think they'd be able to afford him outright, because obviously Juventus have got the likes of Aaron Ramsey in, they've got Ronaldo last summer, they've got Adrian Rabiot in. I also do believe, they are on the brink of getting Matthijs de Ligt, so I don't think, Juventus, would be able to currently afford him outright. Obviously with Real Madrid, they've got 5 players on the board so far this summer. They've spent over £300 million pounds. Obviously Zinedine Zidane has identified, Paul Pogba as his number 1 target, but Real Madrid have blatantly made it clear, they're not willing to pay up to £150 million pounds. So obviously, Real Madrid are not keen on a straight cash payment. So obviously, Real Madrid are desperate to include Gareth Bale in their bid, to currently sign Paul Pogba. So I do believe Real Madrid are looking to offload a couple of their players to help them generate funds, to meet that £150 million valuation and all that. But maybe Paul Pogba, now could remain at the football club and all that, because obviously we have allegedly said now, want somewhere in the region around £180 million pounds. Paul Pogba was also absent from pre-season training the other week. Obviously, this is before he went on tour, and that obviously added more speculation in regards to Paul Pogba's long-term future. But potentially, like I said, we have seen glimpses of Paul Pogba's best form. Like I said, he played really, really well today against Leeds. I think he also played very, very well against Perth Glory. Got a fantastic assist against Perth Glory. But we mainly saw the best of Paul Pogba, in that 3-month period when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, was the interim manager, because Paul Pogba was playing really, really well. He was scoring goals, he was creating chances and all that, and he was getting freed up by the likes of Ander Herrera. So Ander Herrera, was the one who made the impact. So that just shows how much of an impact Ander Herrera made, because he freed up Paul Pogba, and that's when Paul Pogba, was in fantastic form. Obviously, Paul Pogba with the football club has won the Europa League and the League Cup. Obviously, that came in his second season with Manchester United, and Obviously, no, maybe the couple of main factors why Paul Pogba wants to leave the club, because maybe, like I said, he wants to be in Champions League football, maybe he wants to be playing amongst better players, and he feels as though he isn't playing amongst good enough players at Manchester United and all that. Maybe, he's probably frustrated with lack of competitiveness, so this is maybe the couple of main reasons why he has said he currently wants to leave the football club. But I do believe it's initially in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plans, to actually, build a side around Paul Pogba. But Paul Pogba was subject to a lot of transfer speculation last year, based on his poor relationship with Jose Mourinho and all that. Because obviously, last year, I think there was talks about him going to Juventus. I think there was also talks about him going to Barcelona back in January. But Paul Pogba, of course, got one of his best wishes when Jose Mourinho left the football club. Paul Pogba's stats were very impressive last season. He scored 16 goals and provided 11 assists in 47 games in all competitions. And of course, since he rejoined the club in 2016, obviously he scored 31 goals in 135 games. And was currently Paul Pogba and all that. But it's Paul Pogba and Romelu Lukaku's futures still currently remain uncertain and all that. But we do know how imperative both players currently are. But I do believe if we can sell both players, we can generate around £200 million for their departures. We sell Paul Pogba, we'll definitely get over £100 million for him. So I think with that money we can generate from his departure, we can get around 2 or maybe even 3 players there with that current money. But anyway, regardless of what happens with Paul Pogba, we still want to get a couple of midfielders in. Obviously, we've got the likes of Matic. Obviously, Matic did play today, but with Matic, I think he's too inconsistent, he's too slow and all that. He did prove himself in a couple of games last season that he can hold his line well, his distribution, that can be good. But I just believe he's too slow, and obviously he's not getting any younger, in the Man United. You got Fred. I don't know if Fred is the long-term solution for Manchester United. I am very sceptical about that. I do believe Manchester United, did overpay for Fred. Obviously, we paid £50 million for him last summer from Shakhtar Donetsk. And let's be honest, analysing it, Fred hasn't really been given the chance at Manchester United, especially under Jose Mourinho. But Fred did prove himself towards the back end of last season. Like I said, with McTominay, he played quite well today. But in this pre-season, McTominay is going to get a bit more experience. But I still believe he's too inexperienced at the moment. So we have definitely got to get a couple of new additions in that midfield. Obviously, talking about Bruno Fernandes, obviously, for the entirety of the summer, Bruno Fernandes has been linked to move to Manchester United, as you all currently know. Obviously, I think Bruno Fernandes has notified his representatives, that he's keen on making a move to Manchester United. So I do believe his preference is Manchester United. Obviously, allegedly the other week, Bruno Fernandes' agent, was allegedly in the UK to allegedly flash out a deal with Manchester United. I do believe Bruno Fernandes' agent has also held talks with Tottenham. He's also held talks with Liverpool, because obviously Tottenham and Liverpool, of course, have expressed their interest in a player. But yeah, for the entirety of the summer, he has been linked to a move to Manchester United. Of course, Manchester United have held several talks with Sporting Lisbon and all that. But I do believe, the fee seems to be the stumbling block, because Sporting Lisbon have said, they want in the region of £70 million. Reportedly, Manchester United are reluctant to pay that. I do believe we are preparing to put a bid in for him of around £50 million and all that. So reportedly, we have now stepped up our interest in the player, because I do believe he has been one of our priority targets as Bruno Fernandes. And I do believe Bruno Fernandes has held talks with his agent, discussing a potential move to Manchester United and all that. But I was actually reading reports a couple of days ago, was it yesterday, saying that Ed Woodward has said no to Bruno Fernandes. So the Manchester United board believe he's too expensive, and I think they have got concerns about spending quite a bit of money on a player, of course, who's got little experience to the highest level and all that. And he has got the experience, Bruno Fernandes, but not really to the highest level. But I like Bruno Fernandes a lot, and with the situation and what's going on with Paul Pogba, this is not having any effect on Bruno Fernandes coming to Manchester United. So Bruno Fernandes moved to Manchester United. He's not dependent on of course, what happens with Paul Pogba. But like I said, I think we've been considered the favourites to sign Bruno Fernandes, at least for the last 3 to 4 weeks and all that. Like I did say, we have held extensive talks, as I think you all are aware of. Obviously, Sporting Lisbon's president, Federico Varandas, has said, there has been negotiation with Bruno Fernandes in regards to his future and all that. But I do believe Bruno Fernandes has confirmed, he does currently want to leave. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes has been at Sporting Lisbon a couple of seasons. He scored 31 or was it 32 goals in all competitions last season and all that. So I think if he comes to Manchester United, he will rejuvenate the team, bring us them goals that we need in that midfield. He can also create chances. He's only 24 years of age. Obviously, he signed a 5-year deal with Sporting Lisbon last summer, so he's in the contract with them till 2023. Like I said, his initial release clause is £88 million, but obviously Manchester United are nowhere near determined, to go anywhere near that £88 million figure for Bruno Fernandes. But he did reportedly say the other week that we allegedly agreed the personal terms. The contracting that have been agreed, reportedly we're willing to pay him around 5.5 million a year, 5.5 million a year, which obviously equates to around £100,000 a week and all that. But yeah, he's primarily an attacking midfielder. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes did spend the majority of his career in Italy when he was younger, with Sampdoria, Udinese and Novi, and I do believe his performances were very, very impressive then. But I do believe Bruno Fernandes came to the Premier League, he would exceed expectation levels, and I do believe, of course, he has got all the attributes, to currently succeed in the Premier League. But yeah, I do really, really like Bruno Fernandes a lot. But for the entirety of the summer, of course, he has been linked with move to Manchester United. But I think he's keen on making a move to Manchester United. Of course, if Paul Pogba was to leave the football club, I do believe, Bruno Fernandes, would be a fantastic adequate replacement for him and all that. But like I said, there has been a lot of midfielders on our current agenda. Obviously, going back, was it last week, there was a lot of talks about Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio and all that. Obviously, it did say we identified him as one of our priority targets, and it did reportedly say we had seen him as an adequate replacement for Paul Pogba, Milinkovic-Savic. Obviously, as I've been updating you on a regular basis with regards to Sean Longstaff from Newcastle, obviously, he's been on our agenda for quite some time. There's been a lot of talks about him, going on this summer. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer instructed Manchester United to get a transfer prioritised for Sean Longstaff and all that. Obviously, it confirmed from Sky Sports the other week, saying that reportedly, we'd held high-level talks with Newcastle about Sean Longstaff. It did get confirmed that no official bid has been put in as yet. It did reportedly say, we was willing to offer around £30 million. But now Newcastle have indicated out that Sean Longstaff is not for sale, and it did say they would accept a bid in the region in the excess of around £50 million. So reportedly, Newcastle do want at least around £50 million for Sean Longstaff. Obviously, like I did say, I thought we'd been given a boost a boost in our initial pursuit of Sean Longstaff, following the departure of Rafa Benitez. But I'm very, very sceptical, that Manchester United, will pay £50 million for his services. Maybe £30 million in this market this day and age is acceptable, is reasonable, for the play of Sean Longstaff's calibre and all that. But I think over that mark, Newcastle are basically, demanding too much. Sean Longstaff's 21 years of age, plus he's British, and obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, wants to recruit British talents to Manchester United this summer. But Sean Longstaff, hasn't got a lot of experience under his belt. He's got a bit of experience and all that. He only made his senior debut for Newcastle in December of last year, and I do believe, reflecting on his impressive performances under Rafa Benitez's guidance, I think he had been given a new contract. So Sean Longstaff is under contract with Newcastle until 2022 and all that. Obviously, he initially began his career with Newcastle, so he was a product of their academy, obviously progressing up their ranks and all that, and obviously, made his senior debut in December last year. I do believe he didn't play the last couple of months of last season, due to the current injuries he had currently sustained and all that. He sustained a knee ligament injury, so he didn't play the last couple of months of last season. I do believe still Sean Longstaff, of course, is still regaining full fitness and all that. But reportedly, Manchester United not prepared to pay £50 million. We only initially value him from between £18 and £20 million, and of course, Newcastle are demanding more than double on that. Obviously, Sean Longstaff is primarily central midfielder, so obviously he's mainly box-to-box midfielder and all that, so of course he has been currently on our agenda. There actually is still a lot of talk, going on about Mario Lemina from Southampton. As you all currently know, there's a lot of talk currently going on about him. Obviously, I think it recently said, Manchester United are no longer interested in Mario Lemina. Obviously, there was a lot of talks about Mario Lemina, currently going on last week, saying that Manchester United were interested in him. It also said that Arsenal had expressed their interest. It also said currently Leicester had expressed their interest. And I do believe, Mario Lemina has informed Ralph Hasenhüttl at Southampton that he does currently want to leave. He has indicated out, Mario Lemina, that he wants to stay in England, but obviously he's indicated out that he wants to go to an elite level football club, of course, to rejuvenate his career and of course take his footballing career to the next level and all that. Mario Lemina, I do believe he didn't travel with Southampton's squad, for their pre-season, to Austria and all that. So like I said, mainly Mario Lemina has been out of favour with Southampton. He has been there. He's been at Southampton 2 years, so he's had 2 years of experience under his belt in the Premier League. But I think he's he's been out of favour mainly, reflect on the amount of injuries he's sustained, especially last season, he sustained quite a few injuries, so mainly he has been out of favour as Mario Lemina. I think Southampton are open to selling him, and I do believe, they would be looking to recoup the initial £18 million that they did pay for him from Juventus a couple of years ago, because they did pay him around £18 million for his services and all that. But I don't think he would be the right type signing for Manchester United. I do believe he would be like more of an Arsenal type signing, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. I do believe Southampton did give Mario Lemina permission last week, to talk to other clubs about a proposed move away from Southampton. So I do believe Manchester United have held talks with Mario Lemina over a possible switch to Old Trafford this summer. And obviously, this currently happened last week. But Mario Lemina, of course, has still got 3 years left on his contract with Southampton. I think he has made 52 appearances for them in all competitions. Obviously, 46 of those appearances, of course, have come in the Premier League. He's 25 years of age, so he's still got a lot of development in him. He's a Gabonese international. Like I said, he's primarily a central midfielder, so mainly a box-to-box midfielder. But his versatility is very, very good, because he has played in various other positions, when he was younger. So he's been deployed as a winner. He's also played as a fullback. He's played as a wing-back. And I do believe he's also played as a central defender. Also, Mario Lemina began his career in France when he was younger. So I do believe, he played with Lorraine. He had a couple of years there with Marcella. And then obviously after that, he went and had a couple of years in cheering with Juventus. So I do believe that Mario Lemina has played alongside Paul Pogba. But I believe that Manchester United are no longer interested in the current player and all that. But maybe people have different opinions. Maybe people think he would be the right player for Manchester United, but Mario Lemina can score goals. I do believe his tenacity is pretty impressive. He can break up the play. I do believe he's energetic and all that. But I just don't think he would be the right type sign for Manchester United. So there has, been quite a few midfielders on our agenda. Like I said, Manchester United need a central defender, and obviously we need someone that can go alongside Victor Lindelof in our backline, and I do believe that's very, very, very imperative indeed, and all that. Obviously, as it did confirm that Victor Lindelof, and obviously there was recent reports were suggesting out that Lindelof, of course, had been linked to move to Barcelona, but I think Lindelof did dismiss speculations linking him with move to Barcelona and all that, and we do know how much of an imperative player Lindelof is, because I think Lindelof's going to flourish in this Manchester United team. He's getting better and better and better. Obviously, in his first season, Lindelof, struggled with consistency, didn't really settle in. But I do believe in Lindelof's second season with Manchester United, he really stepped up to play and all that. So there was vast improvements in his second season there with Manchester United. So we basically need someone that can go alongside him in our back line, because I think we haven't had the defence to rebuild on since we had the likes of Evra, Ferdinand, Vidic, and Gary Neville and all. And since then, we haven't really had the defence to currently rebuild. And like I said, we haven't had a world class central defence since we had the likes of Vidic, and of course since we had the likes of Ferdinand. But we have got issues defensively, and that was proven last season, because last season we conceded 54 goals in the Premier League, in 38 Premier League games. Of course, our highest total, of course, in 48 years. So that just proves the issues we've got defensively. And reflecting back last summer, our priority, of course, was to recommend a central defender, to come in. It was actually our priority to get a central defender, and obviously this was under the Jose Mourinho era. But obviously, reflecting back last summer, the board weren't back in the signings there that Jose Mourinho, wanted to recommend in to the football club. Obviously, as I've been updating you about Harry Maguire, of course, obviously I do believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now has identified, Harry Maguire is his number one defensive target and all that. I do believe at this present time, Leicester City's valuation, does seem to be the stumbling block at the moment of Harry Maguire, making his proposed move to Manchester United or Manchester City, because of course Manchester United or Manchester City are not willing to pay what Leicester of course are demanding. Obviously, Harry Maguire has informed Brendan Rodgers. He's also informed his Leicester teammates that he does currently want to leave Leicester, and of course Harry Maguire has said he does want to go to an elite level football club, of course, to rejuvenate his career and of course take his footballing career to the next level. I do believe he did leave the training camp was it a day or two ago as well. But reportedly, it does basically say Leicester have told Harry Maguire, that he can leave Leicester as long as, Manchester United or Manchester City are willing to pay a world record fee. So obviously, Leicester are looking for somewhere in the region of at least £80 million. So basically, Leicester have quoted out that they want from between £80 to £90 million, of course, if they are willing to offload Harry Maguire. Obviously, Manchester United have held extensive talks with Leicester over coming to an agreement on a fee. Obviously, reports did indicate out at the weekend saying that allegedly, we had agreed a world record fee of £80 million, with Leicester for Harry Maguire. And he did reportedly say, we'd pay £60 million up front, with £20 million in add-ons and all that, which does potentially rise it to £80 million. And it allegedly said, he was going to be undergoing his Manchester United medical on Monday and all that. So this is what, he did basically say. Obviously, we do know the most expensive defender in world football at the moment is Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk, who, of course, Liverpool paid £75 million for back in January 2018. And obviously, you can't put Harry Maguire, Virgil van Dijk's calibre more level, because obviously, Virgil van Dijk is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world, or is the best centre-half in the world and all that. But I do believe Harry Maguire is still a very, very good central defending. His distribution's good. He holds his line really, really well. He's also very, very good in the air. Isn't really fast, but I don't think, that's currently an issue and all that. Harry Maguire did say at the weekend as well, he's been infuriated by Leicester. Obviously, with Leicester, blocking his proposed move to Manchester United and Manchester City and all that. But reflecting back a couple of weeks ago, it's looking like the Manchester City were going to get a deal over the line for Harry Maguire. And I do believe Harry Maguire's actual preference was a move to Manchester City, because obviously, City were seeing him as a replacement for Vincent Kompany and all that. But obviously, City had initially had withdrawn their interest, because obviously City are not willing to pay, of course, what Leicester are demanding. And it did initially say City are only willing to spend around £60 million at the most, of course, on Harry Maguire. But like I did say the other week, this came from Sky Sports. Obviously, we'd put around the £70 million bidding for him. Obviously, this was too insufficient for Leicester. So obviously, Leicester had currently turned this £70 million bid down. But like I did say, several talks have been ongoing for weeks, between Manchester United and Leicester and all that. Also, Manchester City have held extensive talks with Leicester. But looking at ultimately, Leicester don't want to sell Harry Maguire, and this is the main factor reason why they're demanding an extortionate amount. This is why, of course, they have priced him out of the transfer market. But I do believe now we've identified him as our number one defensive target. I do believe he would complement, Victor Lindelof in our back line. Obviously, Harry Maguire is well Premier League proven. He's still 26 years of age, like I said, so he's still got a lot of years ahead of him. Obviously, he's been at Leicester a couple of seasons. Obviously, he's made 76 appearances in all competitions. Obviously, 69 of those appearances have come in the Premier League. Obviously, he signed a new long-term contract for Leicester last summer, so he's in the contract with them until 2023. And of course, Leicester did pay around £17 million for his services from Hull City. During his time with Hull City, I think he spent a few years with them. He did actually play under Mike Phelan's guidance, so obviously he's the assistant manager at Manchester United, because obviously Mike Phelan was at Hull. He only had a short tenure with Hull, and I think actually Mike Phelan was instructing Manchester United to get a transfer prioritised there for Harry Maguire, and I do believe Alex Ferguson is instructing Manchester United to get a current deal over the line for the current player. But we are adamant he's going to cost us a substantial amount, but I do believe we are not willing to pay what currently Leicester are demanding. So I do believe this is the current stumbling block at the moment. But with Harry Maguire, very, very good player, like I said, he's been relentlessly linked to a move to Manchester United since last summer, because obviously reflecting back last summer under Jose Mourinho, one of the players that Jose Mourinho wanted of course was Harry Maguire. But like last summer, I do believe Leicester were standing firm. They were demanding an extortionate amount last summer. But like I said, there has been so many central defenders on our agenda, and I think we do probably need at least one central defender. Obviously, we've got the likes of Smalling and Jones, who of course are not good enough for Manchester United. They're no longer good enough to represent Manchester United and all that. And it was bad business for Manchester United, giving Smalling and Phil Jones, of course, a new long-term contract. We've got Eric Bailly. Like I said, with Eric Bailly, I still believe he's the right solution for Manchester United. It probably is the long-term solution for Manchester United. He did well today, like I said. He's got great potential as Eric Bailly. I did initially say that his Manchester United career had been affected, the amount of injuries sustained, obviously, his fallout under managers and all that. So like I did say, we need at least one central defender. I do believe we also need to sell Darwin and Rojo, so we definitely need to sell Darwin and Rojo. I do believe, we can generate around, 25 or £30 million for their departures. With Darwin and Rojo, I think both players have enjoyed difficult times at Manchester United, mainly with Darwin because he hasn't really been given the chance, and with Rojo, his Manchester United career has been mainly affected, reflecting on the amount of injuries he has currently sustained and all that. So some people have said maybe it's more imperative, the midfield and the right wing is more imperative than recommending a central defender in, but that central defensive area, we've definitely got to currently strengthen that up, and we want to get an experienced centre half in, and I do believe Harry Maguire, is the current right solution. But there's been other central defenders on our agenda, don't currently forget, there's been Koulibaly on our agenda, but again, that's going to take a world record fee, and it's probably going to cost us over £100 million. Napoli are reluctant to sell him anyway, and I think the only way we could get him is if he was willing to pay silly amounts of money for him. I don't think it's in our plans to do that. The Leeds obviously was our priority target, but I do believe now he's on the verge of joining Juventus. There's still some people talking about, Toby Alderweireld and all that, but I don't think, he's going to be coming out to Manchester United. So there's still people talking about Issa Diop, because we have been in for Issa Diop in the last couple of weeks. But, there has been so many central defenders, of course, on our current agenda. But Solskjaer did say for the majority of this summer, he has spoken to the vast majority of our current players and all that. But there's still lots needs to be addressed in the squad, like I said. And analysing it, the majority of this squad is not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's anyway. There's only 2 players that are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's at the moment. And that's obviously, Daniel James and, of course, Wan-Bissaka and all that. So I did say, there's still lots needs to be addressed in his squad. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he believes that Alex Ferguson transformed him, of course, into a winner. And he was a great player, was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for 11 years, under Alex Ferguson. He did thrive under Alex Ferguson's guidance and all that. But, he has got a bit of experience as a manager, not really to the highest level. He did win a couple of Norwegian titles there with Molde and all that. Only had a short tenure with Cardiff, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But like I said, there's still lots that needs to be addressed in our current squad. We have been, a toxic club for the last 5 or 6 years, but the main factor reason why we have been a toxic club, because obviously we've been mismanaged. This is the main factor reason, of course, why we have been underachieving. Obviously, we've had different managers with different philosophies. Obviously, since Alex Ferguson's retirement back in 2013, we've had 3 managers. Obviously, it hasn't worked out. So obviously, all 3 managers, of course, have been sacked, but a hell of a lot of money has been invested into the football club. We've got a history of spending big on players, especially in recent years. Lukaku 75 million, of course, Paul Pogba and that 89 million pounds. And I do believe we've got Daniel James for a reasonable figure, and he's a cheap solution, compared to what we paid for the likes of Lukaku and Pogba and that in recent years. And I think 50 million pounds for Wan-Bissaka, was quite reasonable and all that, because I do believe he's going to deliver the goods to Manchester United. And Wan-Bissaka, he's had 2 good games already for Manchester United, like I said, getting an assist today and all that. But we have got a good team, but I just think, we need to add at least 2 or 3 more new additions to the squad. Maybe we could challenge for a league this season, going on into this season, or maybe we could win the league, but I don't currently, see happening, to be quite honest with you. So I am very, very sceptical about it. But I think, going into winning the Europa League this season, and maybe we should be, going in, to win the Europa League, maybe win the Carabao Cup. So maybe, we do want to add some silverware going on into this season, because we haven't won any silverware in the past couple of seasons, as you all currently know. Like I did say earlier on in the video with De Gea, obviously with David De Gea, obviously I thought he was going to be playing today as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as he said in his press conference, that he should be. He's actually going to be playing today. He obviously give us an update on the contractual situation with De Gea, and he indicated out that David De Gea is closer to signing a new contract term and all that. But he does believe that David De Gea had currently turned out ill, so this is why he didn't currently play today. Obviously, Romero was playing in the first half. Joe Player obviously came on and that in the second half. So hopefully David De Gea can be in contention to play against Inter Milan at the weekend. With Lukaku, I think he'll get his chance in one of these games in pre-season. I thought he'd have been playing today again, but obviously I had to currently sustain a knock and all that, so this is why I didn't basically play. But yeah, guys, that's mainly everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe, as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.